So while the groom's preparing a place, there's stuff that the bride does. She'll be making preparations of her own. And a lot of this has to do with preparing for the wedding and then also preparing to be a wife. She would prepare her wedding clothing. This would include a really elaborate, colorful embroidery. She also would make swaddling bands that were embroidered with symbols that indicated like the family history or the genealogy. And according to both the ancient and modern customs, the embroidery would have to be exactly the same on both sides. Showing the outward life and like the inner life is what the symbol of that would be. So they would never have like a wrong side to their characters. It's like the becoming idea that the inner and the outer mirror each other. Under the wedding canopy, these decorated bands would be tied around the clasped right hands on the bride and the groom. And this is where we get that saying, they tied the knot. And these bands would later be used to fasten the swaddling clothes of their children. So then you can think of Jesus being wrapped in swaddling clothes and how this could also tie into the Hebrew wedding tradition.
So do you think that she would have made those bands into a form of clothing?
Yeah, that's what they did. So they
Yeah.
would take the bands after the wedding that they used that had the genealogy on them, and they would make it into a clothing. And so it would talk about how she would also develop homemaking skills. This was actually really important. You see like examples of things that women do in the scriptures. They draw the water from the wells and carry it to the house. You get that in like 1 Samuel 9:11 through 18. They would ground the grain and the flour and, use like the grinding stones and like bake the bread. And you can also see that in 1 Samuel 8:13. You see that in the New Testament a little bit. You see like them basically doing all of the housework. And then they would also do things like make the wine, make the oil, make the condiments. And I love the idea of like women making the wine and the oil just because of the sacrament and like temple symbolism that was associated with that. And it seemed like a priestess duty, if you will,
Mhm.
like priestess duties were to prepare these things and then they would go and be blessed and you know what I mean, like for
Mhm.
the temple. And so I just
Yeah.
really liked that. They would also spin and weave the fabric.